I'm Tom Cruise. You're Goose.
I'm good. You're
Goose had a family.
Yeah.
Fuck.
Okay.
I'm Tom Cruise.
I'll remember that. Ladies and gentlemen, thanks for joining us on another episode of The Morning Roast. Grow a mustache already.
There is no way that you're Tom Cruise.
Goose is a family. Ice is the best ball breaker in the movie.
If anything, you're Meg Ryan.
Meg Ryan is
am
not in the
offended,
movie.
sir.
Meg Ryan's not in the movie.
Meg Ryan look-alike.
No.
Who is she?
She had a better mustache.
No, Meg Ryan's
Yeah, that's Goose's wife.
Is it? I don't even remember.
I thought that was Meg Ryan.
Isn't that Meg Ryan?
I'm pretty sure.
I thought that was Meg. I thought you were more Meg Ryan than Goose's
Top
wife.
Gun, which is delayed till Christmas.
No, Goose's wife.
The new Top Gun. Yeah, Meg Ryan. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you didn't know that was Meg Ryan?
Oh, yeah. Carol.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, thanks for tuning in to another episode of Sipping Brew with the Crew. We are the crew, I guess. I'm Luke.
Tex.
AKA Goose's wife.
Carol.
I'm Tom Cruise.
Luke, Carol, the big guy, John. And we are here to sip some brew for our 6 a.m. training session, which has been bumped to 7. That's fine. I'm not upset about that. But thanks for joining us. Tex was just regaling us with how, should this crew be the Top Gun cast, he is. So you were saying that you don't have a leather jacket. You don't have a leather jacket. You don't have a motorcycle.
Yeah, you don't have a motorcycle.
I don't need a
You've
motorcycle.
never flown in a jet.
You don't even live your life a quarter mile at a time.
Yeah. I mean,
Am I mixing up movies here?
You love seamen.
Navy.
Navy personnel. So
I've been
you fight
to a
for
Navy
them.
football game. It's basically the same thing.
So you've been on a riding lawnmower and you have a leather blazer. So you're
So you are Maverick. Okay. That story checks out. No, actually, he doesn't have a riding lawnmower.
I'm Tom Cruise.
he's been on a riding lawnmower.
Really?
Yeah,
I don't
I'm taking
say
some
that-
calls on yours in the back.
He's never necessarily ridden it. He's just been on it, which is important. Fine, take it, Maverick. I'll take
I'm
yours.
Tom Cruise.
Dude. In general, you don't even like him. He's not an actor.
Are you kidding?
He just does Tom Cruise.
Which I'm a fan of.
Wait a minute. I thought you were anti-Tom Cruise.
Yeah, he is.
Never. He was on my runner-up list for action heroes.
Yeah,
Mount
but
Rushmore.
he didn't make it on Rushmore.
Well, he's no Kurt Russell. Doesn't mean I don't like him.
Wow. I don't think there's anybody in the universe that would say that Kurt Russell is a bigger star than Tom Cruise.
Kurt Russell might say that.
One, maybe two. Might is
Might.
the operative word there. What was I gonna roast you on real quick?
Nothing. We should probably continue. What are you getting into training today, Luke?
Me? Great question, Tex. I'm a little behind on some work, so I'm gonna go blast some arms, do some neck stuff, and then come down here and try and get caught up because I'm excited for a little podcast we're recording today to be released next week, 2 weeks?
Next Friday.
Next Friday. So sadly, I do want to blast my pecs, but whenever I blast my pecs, this neck thing gets lit up. So
So the pec muscle's connected to the neck muscle.
that's right.
Interesting.
I think so. Dr. Zanis.
What
is
do you
thinking.
have to say 3 times?
Well, because it's like Dr. Zaius,
Amadeus?
which is from The Simpsons for Amadeus.
Amadeus.
Yeah.
Falco.
Yep.
Amadeus.
Scaling. There's scaling something going on. I'm not using my trap. I'm using my scalenes. That's the theory, which we'll see. I don't know what's going on.
Is that why your traps are so small?
Bro, don't you dare. What is this, a roast? Is this the morning roast? Your mustache looks like shit.
I've been growing this thing for 6 weeks.
So I'm smashing. I'm going to do just blast some arms, get down here, and then try and get caught up because I want to get...
Tennis podcast? Noon?
11 a.m.
11 a.m.
I want to get some reporting done. I want to get this up as soon as possible as well, instead of snoozing the day. And I want to get that blog post up. And then I'm thinking, because I missed my window to do the recipe post last night, but still need to cook that meat. Have we ever written a blog about why vans? We've talked about it.
Ad nauseum. Mm-hmm. Zero drop since 1966.
Yeah.
No.
So I might just dump that out there. So because we get that question
structurally, so we talk more about the foot than the van.
Right.
Yeah.
So I think I'm gonna try and fire that up today. So, and you think you're gonna get I'm anxiously awaiting reading your post-apocalyptic
Kind of like my
survival kit.
My book list. It's taken on a life of its own. I need to learn to read like 500 words, but the problem is then I feel like I'm shortchanging the people. So that's my goal, to get that not done today. And then I was just doing that, trying to get training done, or programming done. And then I did some proofreading there. Did a lot of homeschooling.
I can only imagine.
Read a lot of books to Cash. Argued with him on why he just can't watch YouTube at 4 years old. He's like, YouTube? I'm like, I can't believe my 4-year-old is like arguing with me about like he should be able to watch YouTube.
Mm-hmm. He's not wrong.
We have that same argument for work.
Yeah. All we want to do is watch YouTube all day, John. You can come down here and crack the whip. Go watch squat videos. It's on YouTube, though.
Oh man, he's killing me yesterday. Like, he's pretty smart. He's like, oh, let's. So I put on nursery rhymes, like not like songs for him to sing, or like we were working on like singing in Spanish and French and the whole deal. And then I'll like go back, and all of a sudden I'll be like, he's like over there like pretending, and I look and he's watching Blaze and the Monster Machines. I'm like, first of all, how did you even find Blaze and the Monster Machine? Like, his ability to navigate YouTube is pretty good. Like, yeah.
My dad so I would liken my dad's ability to navigate technology like via smartphone, probably under Cash's, because he just got a smartphone.
Uh-huh.
So he's always been BlackBerry. He wants to have like the actual tactical keyboard.
Yeah.
And so I'm trying to take him through like the principles of smartphone use, and he's like starting to pick up on it. And then I finally let him know about Google Assistant, which is basically like the Siri of Google. And I'd argue it's probably a little more robust than Siri, just because Google's like has robbed people's voices and shit for 5-6 years, right? So it's pretty good. He's like, I just talked to my girl. She tells me everything I want. So I was on it. He's like, call my son, call my wife, and like it all figures out. What's the moon phase today? I need to set my watch. And she'll like give him the moon phase for his watch, and like so he's gonna figure out that little thing can take him into YouTube. It can take him into his email. So maybe your son's just like found is talking to it. Like
No. He just I don't know how he found it, and even the girls were like, "How did you find Blaze?" And he was like, "I'm like, huh? It's pretty amazing."
Reminds me of The Simpsons. Press any key.
which key's the any key?
Where's the any key?
100%. Now, ladies and gentlemen, what did McQuilkin get into last night? Those of you who tuned in yesterday know.
And McQuilkin went on a virtual date. Dating.
No, I attended John Howard's and I took some notes.
John Howard is a local guy here. Is I guess relationship
Ready,
counseling.
Set, Love.
Ready, Set, Love. And he's been on our podcast. It was an epic podcast. Really, I don't mean this in a bad way, but bizarre in the sense of like.
He's got probably the wildest upbringing I've ever heard.
Yeah. So super cool dude. John Howard podcast, Power Athlete Radio. John Howard, you'll find it. I suggest listening to it. So he's got this thing that is kind of like a networking group in Austin, but on quarantine he's taking it cyber.
Yeah.
So you're online cybering with other people that are single.
How does that work?
Zooms.
Yeah, so
Did you show up shirtless like I recommended?
No.
God!
used and shave?
get one
used
chance.
and shave your arm in like a V-neck and make it look like you're wearing just like a sweater vest?
No.
Oh.
Okay, so what did you do?
You realize if you did that stuff, it would be self-deprecating, and then therefore you would become like the unicorn because you had a sense of humor.
But I have a sense of humor.
Yeah, you do.
I don't know. We'll put this out to the audience. Does Tex have a sense of humor?
If he does, push hearts.
Yeah. Heart this if you think he has it. Give me a thumbs up or a thumbs down if you think that Tex has got a sense of
Here
humor.
comes the roast. The morning roast. I can vouch for Tex's.
Well, he can laugh.
Yeah.
Right? I don't know if I've
That's
ever.
a sense of humor.
No, being able to laugh at other
we need
people's
like the
jokes.
Hinsman cackle at your own jokes. To make us laugh.
Well, you have to actually make us laugh
I disagree.
to be funny. Just laughing. Hinsman doesn't have any sense of humor, and she just laughs.
No, that's the sense of humor. She gets it, so she's laughing.
No,
Then there's the skill of humor, which is making other people laugh. Two different things.
Oh, I disagree. I think.
What?
Why? Where? Do
You can't just Vin Diesel us.
Do you have
through
some?
the point.
This is Brazil. You can't give us that this time.
Professional comedians are more skilled at constructing humor and making us laugh. But then there's certain people that have a sense of humor that think that guy's funny.
Oh, he can
and then
sense that
people
there's
that
humor.
are, I'm offended. They don't have a sense of humor.
So if you get offended, you have no sense of humor?
100%.
That offends me.
That's funny though. You're making a joke. You're skilled.
No, he's not. He's not joking.
Tell us about the date. Continue the joke.
No, we should dissect this and investigate more.
No,
I do like where you're going.
I'm really
with this,
curious on
I'm
this.
just making this up. but
on this John Howard quarantine deal. So set the stage for me.
it's much like this, except Zoom and 50 people in the chat room.
How many guys and girls?
Primarily female. So
Good
odds are
ratio.
in my favor.
Good ratio.
But essentially, he's painting a picture of dating in the age of social distancing. And so he breaks it down into, I guess, perspectives, mindsets to take on, so you spin this positively. So, he has 4 parts of dating. This is some knowledge. Know yourself well enough to concisely tell someone about yourself. So an elevator pitch. So then breakout session would be an opportunity in a group of 8 to 10. So Zoom's got this feature where you break off into groups and then we all just take turns and people comment on your take on this. So you have an opportunity to give your elevator pitch, but he wants you to include weaknesses as well. So creating a vulnerability online. He also went into, and he did this on our podcast, that I recall, that video screens you lose 98%.
So that was at the block 1, I believe.
It was the block 1?
Yeah.
Okay. So John Howard also spoke at our block 1. Virtually use 98% of your communication. So you have to then proactively put yourself out there to communicate.
Did you use your words, or did you just go with the 98% view?
That one. So no, I did all right. I used the learned. What'd you call it?
The 3-pronged attack?
I'm a learned extrovert.
Oh.
So yeah, but so then
Did you wear a fedora?
no, that's
Your fedora.
that's Luke's.
Not a fedora. It's company policy to imply ownership of the fedora.
Did you drop it off at your house? He's like, hey, Luke, can you bring that fedora over?
You look good in a fedora.
Hey,
You got a fedora shape to you.
No, there can only be one fedora per crew, and that's your.
Can I interject? Constructive, like with a constructive point. You know, it's interesting for Luke K and TC that this was something that we harped on for him, but where we whiffed is like what your weaknesses are.
well, we told them what their weaknesses
We needed
were.
an
we
elevator
did.
speech,
Yeah.
not a freaking road trip. So we didn't ask for their
But
weaknesses.
that's pretty interesting
Sure.
to be able to have that, right? So sorry, go on. Man.
So number 2, what is a good fit for you in a person? So not, hey, what are you looking for?
Anything.
What's a
I'll take anything.
blonde or brunette?
That's good, because I'll take anything.
No, so you consider your own qualities that you presented, but then what's a good fit for the qualities or weaknesses? So like a give and take, a plus and minus,
What did you say your weaknesses were?
that I have no weaknesses.
Oh, you're like, what are your weaknesses? Everything.
Nice. Chicks love that.
Just confidence.
Yeah, show no mercy. So you're trying to identify who would be a good fit for you versus who you're just trying to
Slam piece.
yeah. Then finally, develop a dating strategy. So play it as a numbers game so you can measure and test the success of the strategy. Step 4, implement your strategy and then reassess. So 3 and 4 like
Yeah.
to then evaluate if what you're looking for is what you're looking for, and then if eventually work back into, and this is my takeaway, are you truly identifying who you are as a person? So I don't know if John Howard presented that level, but
That's where you.
just
Yeah.
where I can.
Well, that's where the loop falls apart. If you're finding the wrong person over and over again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's, and then tips for during the corona, schedule video dates, set up a theme. So
Fedoras and mustaches?
margs and mustaches.
All right.
So what do? Do you like those takeout drink places? You're like, hey, I'm sending you drinks, and you guys have drinks
That's a
together.
pretty good one. Accomplish in the city, but no one delivers to me, so it's a good one, John. But yeah, set up themes, but then create an aesthetic background. So not just
These are all the tips I was giving you yesterday, man.
for
I'm
your
John
podcast.
Howard.
For your podcast.
I'm John Howard. You need a big collage of dicks right behind you.
And then if the
Let her know you're serious.
if
And it's like, where's Waldo?
dicks?
Which dick is mine? And she has to guess, and that's the drinking game.
ah
And then every guess she does wrong, she has to take off a piece of clothing. Strip dick, as I call it.
so yeah, the trick is you don't
What's
your dick's not up there. So
Oh,
she
hell
goes
no.
wrong.
What's so weird is that
don't wanna show that.
Luke just plays this with the Naperville boys.
Yeah, me and my bros do it all the
Oh,
time.
they invented it.
Yeah.
Well, I'll tell you what. Just forward me your file of all their dick pics, and I'll put it up on my wall.
All right.
I know you have.
You want high school? You want
do you-
illegal or legal?
Do you want Dropbox?
What's weird is it looks the same. You know? 16-year-old,
Some got-
36-year-old.
Some got smaller. How's that work?
That's cool.
It's cold. You know, it's time of the year in Chicago.
I was in the pool. And then finally, if
Shrinkage.
you connect over video, schedule a video dinner. So you set up your iPad.
I'm with you.
And we're eating a
So
meal.
weird.
It is, but why not? I guess. What else are you gonna do? What are you gonna sit around and watch YouTube? What was Cash watching?
Blaze.
Blaze and the Monster Machine.
Blaze. What are you gonna watch? Blaze and the Monster Machine all day?
He totally would.
Okay, maybe I'm wrong.
Yeah.
Now, was there any other participants taking a bunch of notes on a legal pad?
Probably no way.
Mm-hmm.
But
Here's my one question.
Of many.
Who? Because you know me, I got lots of questions. Who was the demographic? Like, give me like some ages, nationalities. Like, was it like 26 to 40-year-old white women that are professionals?
yeah, a lot of professionals for sure.
Like professionals, like
Small business owners.
small business owners. Okay.
Solopreneur,
I think
entrepreneur.
time is probably the biggest reason people are there. Yeah, and then this whole thing is there's a very extroverted group. So, or at least the extroverts stood out within this online community.
If you're on an online, I mean, and you have, you've been the straight man in probably 300 plus podcasts. So you understand how to play the straight guy.
Oh yeah, I get one opportunity to talk in 90 minutes, and I strike, John. That's what Power Athlete Radio is all about.
I've been training for this for years.
You're like, all of a sudden you get on there and you're like, God, this feels like slipping on that old leather blazer that Nicolas Cage gave me from Gone in 60 Seconds. I know this shtick.
Yeah.
Was it good? Was it entertaining?
Yeah, dude, John's an amazing speaker, so
Yeah.
appreciating then him navigating and
Texas,
guiding
like, it was so
people.
weird. He banged me on the line.
On the line. So-
It's weird. He talked me out of my pants.
interesting.
And then my other question is, were there any like legit smoke shows where you were like, damn, it's
Like
close?
to get to know her? Yeah.
How about
Really?
this?
Wow.
Did any provide an impressive intro? Or what do we
elevator
we
pitch.
call it an intro? Yeah.
Elevator pitch.
Self-assessment.
I did. We only have one small group, so
Yeah,
I didn't
but
get to
of
meet
those.
everybody. Yeah, surprising. We're like, background didn't meet the depiction of that I had on the screen.
So you judged a book by its cover?
But then I learned my lesson.
Lesson learned, as they say. So then, is the intent? Do you feel that the intent of it, not like your intent, but globally, people are trying to make the connections in this Zoom call to then execute the online date and drinks and stuff like that, or is it very much like maintain the Bumble and the dating apps or whatever you're doing, and don't be afraid in there to try to pull this stuff off?
Yeah, that's John's deal. Like, apps are second. He wants you to be proactive and use your network and be comfortable being, hey, I'm single. So then your married friends be like, hey, I know this person at work. It's like networking.
But I think if you're waiting on us to introduce you to single women,
I do it all the time. I say, hey, are you single? Because I have a friend that will disappoint you. And you're like, the one that says I'm interested, though. So you got to set the barrier low, and then you bring them up, man. I'm doing you a favor.
Yeah.
No, but I'm just saying, like,
Well,
if you're waiting for us, I mean,
I have friends that are not you.
No, you bite your tongue. That's a lie.
Shell accounts on Instagram count, so you're right.
Yeah. Hubert Cumberdale has been very supportive of my endeavors. Yeah, Hudson's being closed it's hurt, but yeah. So it's good takeaways.
So, all seriousness though, I do like the idea of this because I've thought frequently about, let's say I was back on the Serengeti, you have access to these apps. Obviously there's a use case for these apps. I don't know necessarily once the old bull wants to slow down, if that's where I'm going to try and go to try and like settle down with somebody. I would definitely want it to be a personal network thing. Something that was introduced by somebody through somebody through somebody, right?
Yeah,
I think I would.
Well, that's kind of how dating always was. I mean, other than like, hey, like
So he wants to bring it back.
you either. I mean, how many people are like, I met the love of my life at the bar. You know, like that doesn't necessarily happen, or maybe it does happen. I think it could potentially happen like earlier in life.
I think it depends on like your bar demeanor.
Very
Because
important.
there's a certain bar demeanor where it's like, hey, this was fun. We should do this again sometime. Oh, 8 o'clock, better get home. And then there's like closing time. And you're like looking around. That one.
Well, yeah, that's why you got to go early and stay there. And then if you miss that window, you're forced to hang out for the next 4 hours and catch the second opportunity. That's why they renamed that bar on 290 the Last
Chance Saloon. Right?
Yeah.
Isn't there a Last Chance Saloon driving to Key West?
Yeah.
Yeah, that place is awesome.
Yeah.
Man, I love Key West. I'm going back. I don't know when.
So our island people kind of, are they just stuck with what they got on Spam?
Spam?
Do they cut off the bridges?
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Like
no.
Martha's Vineyard is only accessed by boats. Did they stop the boats?
No. It's there's like a long highway from Key West. So Key West.
Oh, didn't they blow that up in True Eyes?
Yeah.
The old one. Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah. So I don't think Florida's like cut off the keys from civilization.
Wouldn't be the worst thing.
No, I did.
Island people are kind of weird.
I did like Key West.
There's a bunch of weirdos down. Like, I mean that in a good
Yeah.
way.
No, Steve Everett got played.
So some positives, takeaways, how we were talking about this Corona thing, and other people said they are learning how other people react to crisis. And I was like, oh. So they're communicating and engaging to see how other people react in stressful situations. I'm like, that's pretty good. And then someone else was like, yeah, phone calls are back. I haven't called a girl since high school. So like, I thought that was interesting.
Yeah, versus like texting is like got nothing better to do, get on the horn.
Yeah.
Oh.
Very interesting.
Yeah.
Well, good for
I would
you.
say on the smaller percentage side that was looking at this positively, there's a lot of
Negative.
just, yeah, which, but again, they're mostly downtown,
But that's a growth
stuck
mindset.
in their apartments.
But that's a growth mindset versus a fixed mindset.
Yeah.
But we also, I think our situation is unique in that you're like, no, go to work every day and.
I didn't say that because I felt really bad because no one else was.
Yeah, no, nobody else can go to work. Like, God, I haven't been to the gym. You're like, I go to the gym every morning.
Working in the gym.
You don't work in
That's
a gym.
been quarantined for 2 years.
3 years. So, but like, you know, people are like, oh no, I lift weights every day and come to an office and hang out. And,
But so it was interesting. So we'll see how this progresses.
Is there anybody that you know you kind of partnered off away with that you might potentially meet up with later?
Time will tell, John.
But
Did you
Lord knows a gentleman well.
Did you give him your boot height?
No, that's the other thing. I was like, what's all these people?
You should just have like a sticker. It's like I'm 6'5".
That should be your background.
My like the
All your
prison,
stats.
a prison height thing.
No,
Yeah.
no, just your stats.
Yeah, prison height thing.
Yeah,
That's
like,
not a bad one.
Like normal height, boot height,
40 time.
40
Hand
time, vertical jump, vertical
High
jump.
school football coach time.
Yeah.
What else? Did you ask people what they drive, like vehicles?
No, I didn't.
That wasn't a big thing, huh? So what do you guys drive?
No, I gotta find. Here's the other thing I'm navigating. I gotta find questions to ask that identify how people think. I'll say this politically, just to accelerate the connection process.
Oh, so what you are hoping to foster your right-wing conservative,
Extreme.
extreme conservative,
Yeah.
Alex Jones.
How
Yeah,
else am I gonna
flat Earth.
jumpstart my political career?
Yeah, you flat earther.
No.
So Paul Carter's pretty funny. He's like flat earthers and people that are thinking the coronavirus is caused by 5G towers are the same people. So that was pretty
Yeah,
funny.
Joe Rogan put kissing cousins.
Oh, is that where he got it?
I don't know.
Oh.
Like I'm sure there's probably a lot of content there. But ladies and gentlemen, that is section 1 of the shtick. I think it was very
That's
enlightening.
shtick?
Yeah, that's good stuff. Now one of the reasons we started off this morning show was, I guess, number one, to shame people who don't have a training plan, because this show is made possible by Third Monkey, our free daily training program that is designed specifically for individuals that may be stuck in their houses. They only have maybe a 5x5 or 8x8 area to work out and don't want to sink a ton of money into a home gym setup. We've created an equipment list out of cinder blocks, bungee cords, 5-gallon buckets, and concrete, and we put out daily programming for free for you or anyone you know. So that is Third Monkey, powerathletehq.com/COVID, or if you just go to the Google machine and put Third Monkey by Power Athlete, you'll find it.
Spenton chimed in and said, Captain Tony said, all you need in this life is a tremendous sex drive and a great ego. Go with that. Oh, Dave Spenton giving you a little, sage advice.
Who's Captain Tony?
Nobody knows.
Ah, okay.
There's probably his alter ego, because, you got
PFC?
PFC Spanton. When he has a few drinks, he turns into Captain Tony. Kind of like Kanavi and his...
40 mils do that to a man.
what was... I can't remember Kanavi's alter ego. Wasn't it...
Turd Ferguson.
no. Lawrence Peabody.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
Director of Human Resources at
Human
Power Athlete.
Resources at Power. Oh, God. When the colonel would start drinking, he'd instantly turn into Lawrence Peabody. And all of a sudden, we're like, I hope Lawrence isn't going to come out tonight. He's like, chances are high. The colonel.
So ladies and gentlemen, the second part of this is we have asked you to ask us questions regarding anything, really. And today we're talking a little bit of training. We have about 100 questions we're going to be working through. This one, was this a legitimate submission or was this Lawrence Peabody?
Captain Dave Jones or whatever Dave's alter ego is.
Tony Clark.
Tony Clark.
So we have a question. We're all going to kind of talk about it, give you some more shtick, and then we're on with our day, ladies and gentlemen. So McQuilkin, what do we have for today?
Worst fitness fad you've ever fallen victim to?
So worst meaning like the most destructive, the most embarrassing? Where do we want to go with this?
I think facepalm. Like,
Okay. Yeah, just like
I spent money on this? Got you good, you fuckers.
the earliest one I can think of, and I didn't think, because I talked to my mom last night, or did I? Maybe it was 2 nights ago. I didn't think to hit her up to see if we still have it, because my family is like, they're basically hoarders. They're not like hoarder TV show, but you'd be surprised the weird trinkets we save collectively. Like, oh, I still have that, you know? But is the ab flex. And I think I've talked about it before. I think it's called the ab flex. It's like a big plastic thing with like big belt, like rubber belts that you have like this telescoping pad. And then it's like a big triangle, and you're supposed to pull it into your stomach, hold it for like 3 seconds.
Oh, for like to increase tension.
Yeah, so you use it as like proprioceptive isometrics, and get abs in 30 days with
It's
the ab flex
actually not
program.
a bad idea.
It's just so dumb because you can do it without it, right?
Yeah.
But I'm curious if we still have it, and I know we've talked about this on the podcast. I should hit her up, and I should get that thing. That thing's dope. So that was one that I begged and pleaded in high school to have my parents purchase. Maybe it's junior high, because in high school I wouldn't be. It'd be very uncharacteristic of me. So the ab flex I think is up on the list, and I do know. Do you guys remember the Abtronic?
No.
Is that like the stem?
Yeah, it was a thing you put around your abs, and like it was like EMS essentially, like a version of it, and then it was supposed to like give you abs in 30 days if you wore it. I don't think I think that came out when I was like a junior in high school, but I had a buddy whose sister bought it, and like, yeah, it obviously didn't work.
Oh, okay. I was waiting for you to be like, it was
So
amazing.
she has abs?
The two that I remember, one I was actually able to somehow talk my parents into. The other one I was not. The one I was not was. Do you guys remember the vertical jump shoes?
That's what I was gonna come prepared with.
Spud web, yeah.
Yeah, so you put them in, and there were these like big like kind of things on the front, and then what it does is it teaches you to like walk with like in like an upward position, and it's supposed to be like increases your vertical like 40 inches. So all the guys at like my high school were like wearing them around like class.
To class.
Yeah, like wearing them around to like increase it. And I was like, huh. And I was like, man, I wonder if like I could increase my vertical with that. And I remember they were like $100, which might as well have been $1 million. So yeah, I wasn't able to talk anybody into those.
I think you're better off because there was like
When I went back and looked at all the research as an adult, the amount of the biggest side effect was shin splints
and Achilles
and Achilles injuries, and like the people that wore them had like. There was like one dude, the guy who like invented it, increased his vertical, and that was the only guy. Like it just like it was really hacked.
Yeah, that's classic marketing because Spudweb wins the dunk contest. And
Let's
then
get that guy, and he's 5'4"
3.
boot
five.
height.
Muggsy Bogues, I think he's 5'5". Muggsy Bogues is 5'3". But yeah, then he was jumping and dunking before your stupid shoes.
Yeah. So that one, and then do you guys remember there was I can't like it's not Progenics, but it was like
Ooh, I didn't even
the
think about
box.
supplements.
There was like a box in high school, and it was like cybernetics, and it was like this like training system. And what it is, it came with a workout, it came with supplements, and it showed up in this like box. And Brian Reed, who was our quarterback, he like got this box and like took the supplements and like did the workouts, and like it had a diet, and it was like this full like thing. I just remember it came in like a big box, and he like convinced me to do it with him. And so there was like when I look back, like the diet was like super calorically low. You took all these crappy supplements, and like the volume of work was like super high. It was all like sets of like 10 to 20 reps, and it was like I didn't. He actually got more jacked and got in good shape, but he didn't really lift heavy weights. So I think like that was like something that like helped him. For me, like I didn't really notice anything, and I remember it was like $101. And I think I was 16, so I was driving when this happened, or maybe I was 15 because he had a car, so maybe we were the same age as me. But whatever it was like Cybernetics was the name of this stupid box, and you bought it from GNC. So we like went down to the GNC, which was down in like Delamo, and and bought this fucking box, and it like had like pamphlets and this whole, and it was like, you know, this thing you put on your wall with like timing, and it was pretty involved. I think about it now and I'm like, man, that's actually pretty heads up. The supplements were, you know, like now I know what about supplements probably didn't have enough in each one because they're like, one pill is so powerful. I'm like, no. So
there was a supplement a buddy of mine took in high school, I guess was my training partner. And like, you know, some controversial. I think
Ultimate Orange.
It was M1T. Back, ladies and gentlemen, back. We are back. Sorry about that, or maybe I'm not. I'm sorry, I'm not sorry.
I'm sorry, I'm not sorry. So we, shit, I wonder where Brian Reed is now. Man, I haven't thought about that dude in fucking 30 years. So it was like Cybernetics was this box, and then the shoes were probably the two fads. Other than that, like, I always thought like people trying to lift Olympic lift on the Busu ball was like the stupidest thing I'd ever seen. Remember there was a guy that had all that like Busu ball balance because you're going to like, you know, train your core to be uneven.
There was a swing because, what's his name? And Cromartie. So like the hyphenate cornerback, Cromartie.
Oh, didn't he hyphenate his wife's name on his?
I don't remember, but yeah, just a lockdown corner for one year.
From the Rams.
He was Jets and Chargers, but I don't remember what year he blew up. But then they like showed his training. It was all like balance, Bosu, like catching, and then I remember that. And then another Adam Archuleta.
Yeah.
His programming blew up in like the high school scene because it would be like, all right, spotter, Luke's above me, I'm on a bench press, he's gonna drop the bar and I'm gonna catch it, and then
well, that guy's name, I talked to that guy on the phone. He had
Adam's trainer.
Yeah, I cannot remember his name. He's in Phoenix. Inky knows him. But I got hooked up with that guy. I can't remember how it was, and he has these uses this like device almost like an Omega Wave, but it might be the Omega Wave. I can't remember. But he has his own device that he made in his garage. But it's like based not on DC current. It's like AC current, and his stuff is all this like high motor. You know who was big into that? Crookston.
Oh yeah.
That guy's training, and I'm totally drawing a blank here because it's 6 something in the morning. But Crookston was all obsessed with that guy, and I wonder if Crookston didn't put me in touch with him. But I talked to the guy when I was doing a bunch of research on the Compex and the Power Dot and the EMS devices because I thought it was super interesting, and I wanted to go out and actually train with the guy and see what he did. This is like, 6-7 years ago, and the guy was so prickly, like it was.
Well, the trickle down of what he was doing with his professional athlete into the high school, super stupid and fucked up.
Yeah, I believe that.
So what do you got for fads? Oh, you mean these little guys? These are V1. These are the very first launches, dude. I'm wearing them today. You got tread on yours?
So
Look at that.
disgusted by the fact that you guys have these.
Why?
Were they-
Like you don't fucking have them.
I've never had
Kate
those.
doesn't
things.
have them?
No.
Bullshit.
We would have
Get her on the
never.
phone.
We would have never got married if we had those.
Well,
Those things are weirdly disgusting.
why? They smell great. You want to...
Dude, did you know we actually back in the day had people come to the CrossFit football seminar wearing those fucking things?
Yeah, well, guess what? You're going to have people coming to work wearing these things.
There's not much you can get fired for. Those are probably it.
Challenge.
Okay. But no, my dad came over a couple weeks ago.
I think you got dog shit on the bottom of that one.
Well, walking through your yard. But no, it's probably like I don't know. There's some animal shit on your trail.
Yeah, raccoon.
Yeah, I saw
Probably
that.
raccoon shit.
I gotta kill those fucking things.
But yeah, my dad dropped a bunch of my shit off that was just in my closet. So I had these little guys in there. I got my Olympic weightlifting shoes, and then
Texas pride.
I'm sure we're right
The
side
pride
up.
of DuPont.
A weightlifting belt
I got you.
that you pump up. I'm not sure if it still holds air.
Oh,
It
no.
looks like it.
It's kind of like your dating life. It deflates real easy.
Heyo. Was this the roast?
But yeah, so I got this little guy, but I had a bench press in my bedroom in middle school. So like stupid shit like that. And then we bench pressed every Friday in middle school. And then it was the only measurement that we had in the weight room. You had little tickets, little tags that were your name, and then everywhere on the board up from 45 pounds all the way up to maybe 225. I can't remember in middle school. And so you just like moved your ticket up every Friday that you went up. So it was bench pressing and push-upping every single day because I didn't want to go down. And there was a phase where kids were spotting for each other and like touching the bar and lifting. I'm like, no one's touching my bar. I wouldn't, like, I don't know, I wouldn't allow that for who knows what reason. But
Just the pinkies.
yeah,
Not even the pinkies.
no.
What?
I'd rather fucking like fail than have somebody, because those guys always got. They
I
caught
can
up to
help
them.
you fail. By touching the
Every
bar.
single day you do. The pressing down.
Yeah.
But that was basically the invention of triphasic training because I was hitting my sticking point and then eccentric phase.
Dude, so Kate went up to the building yesterday, and she's in the isometric phase of triphasic, the program that I wrote her.
Oh God.
So she goes
She's
up.
a spotter.
Well, she goes up to the gym, and she has upper body, so she's got to do bench. I was like, "How'd that go?" She's like, "Well, I had the girls spotting me, so she had both girls standing there." She's like, "I figured Jamie and Kelly together might be able to spot me." I was like, "How'd that go?" She's like, it was pretty dicey." I was like, "We would have come up." She's like, "No, it's fine. I'll get him to do it." And like I asked the girls, and they were like, "Yeah, we were, kind of nervous a little bit." I'm like, "This is hilarious."
That is
my wife
so awesome.
like dragging the kids up there to spot her. And like I just remember these stories like my mom and dad in the building. My mom would make us spot them on this crazy stuff my dad made her do. And then I was like, "Well, how are you feeling?"
Back online. Only 10 minutes.
What happened?
The wires, papers, wires, lots of ins, lots of outs, lots of what have you.
Cool.
Looks like we are shut this down, but audio's flowing, video's flowing. We're
Oh,
good.
there we are. We're back.
Are we upside down now?
No.
Or was it? Whatever. They'll figure it out. So with that said, where were we at? John,
Triphasic,
triphasic,
kid spotting.
kid spotting.
Yeah, pretty funny.
It was good. Remember? That was awesome.
Yeah.
Any other?
I'm thinking back now, like, I guess you could kind of put nutrition stuff under fitness. So like I was a diehard Atkins guy.
Whoa.
Yeah.
So like carnivore diet.
Kinda, but mostly salami and whipped cream. Like, like think of like the
Sound
snack food
You
Atkins.
sound like my 8-year-olds. Salami and cheese.
So-
big meal for them.
Yeah. So it was like not the smart version of Atkins, I would say. But, I must have been in high school or college or something like that and just wanted to get lean or whatever. So I did that pretty hard. I know for a fact in junior high we were a slim fast family because I was 152 pounds and that was the cutoff for Pop Warner. So I couldn't gain weight. So it was broccoli, spray butter, and slim fast.
Ooh.
Was like my meals on Thursday, Friday, leading up to Saturday game day.
Damn.
So
That sounds awful.
yeah,
We people commented on Tybo. We had high school football. So football was a class in Texas, which is cool.
Yeah.
But they kept running out of training ideas. So we would just do Taibo in like the wrestling room. So they just wheel in the VHS and we just fucking stand there in our class. I'm trying to think what else stupid things we did in high school football.
Yeah, you know, we had kind of the same thing, but they didn't. I guess they didn't. It wasn't specific to football. So like football players were basically like at practice. You're like, okay, you know, you're going with this coach. Here's what you need to sign up for because it was elective, whatever sport or whatever segment in PE you want to sign up with. We always had like football fitness, but it wasn't called that. It was called like something different. But yeah, we would do Taibo in this weird basement gym room, like no windows, just a big screen, you and Billy Blanks, Taibo in it. And then we would also do step aerobics. They had us because I was like, when I got on the varsity, when I played varsity sophomore year, I got taught ragdoll. So I'm like, this is when I had to I got to put on weight. And that's when I put on like 60 pounds in the summer and it was bad. So then I was overweight and too slow. So then they had me in like step aerobics and like the most bonkers fucking like weight loss gym classes with a bunch of fucking like girls. That was a very bizarre time that I'm thinking about it. Like
we had a great setup. So summer arena Houston football guys would come in and like train us because you could train for football with a ball. So we go bang weights with these guys, do sprints, and then just do football drills. Quarterbacks got quarterback work and defense got defense. But then Texas outlawed the ball at summer practices. So then my high school decided not to employ these guys anymore. Mm-hmm. I'm sure we could have done the same shit with tennis balls and these guys.
Yeah.
But then our high school coaches took over the training. All downhill from there.
Yeah. But man, I can't I'm certain there's more fucking diet shit that was my brainchild to try to make weight or try to gain weight and then try to lose weight. But then I think in terms of like the gimmicks, I don't know what takes the cake. Do the flat shoes or the ab flex?
I don't know. I mean, I think they're all ridiculous.
I wonder what supplement shtick I would do as well. I had to have been in that game.
Well, there was always the weird stuff that Zangus gave us. So like he'd like just give us these like unlabeled boxes of like weird stuff and be like, oh, nobody's taking this, and he'd give us these boxes. So that was kind of our supplement routine. Just randomly take whatever George.
But that's
gave
not
us.
like a fad. That's like
But
a well-informed.
He legitimately had a nutrition business and like did mail order supplements and the whole deal. So it wasn't like it was just random shit. He'd be like, oh, take this creatine stuff. It's going to be big in the future, like that type of stuff. So I feel pretty enlightened on that. But dude, those basketball shoes, man, I wanted those things so bad. I remember being like, man, what if I could jump? Like I had like visions of like jumping and being like the Bionic Man, where it's like boing, 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 like jumping up on a building. I'm like, what if you wore those and you could jump up on a building? It'd be like the Bionic Man. And then it was all the guys at basketball on the basketball team were wearing them, and then they all got like tremendous shin splints and Achilles tendonitis. And I was like, ooh, good thing I didn't wear those things. I would have been definitely fucked up.
Probably my favorite,
Seinfeld?
No, memorable Family Guy clip. They talk about the Bionic Man or the $1 Million Man. They're like, we can say
$5
we
million.
have the technology,
but we don't want to spend a lot of money. And he's running with like a plunger and a trash can.
It was the $6 Million Man is what it was called.
Well, I think we murdered that one. Show and tell. Little blast from the past. I'm wearing them today.
I like I'm just telling you, like if you came to CrossFit football seminar wearing those,
you tore your Achilles.
You were pretty much a douche.
Yeah.
So like the fact that you guys have those just makes me realize
how sweet we are.
That you guys were hiding your douchiness at the CrossFit football seminar.
I went to football seminar before I had these. Yeah.
Wow.
2009 I went, and then this is 10, 11.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. I can't believe after you came to my seminar you felt comfortable buying those. You didn't listen to the whole rant I had for like 20 minutes about how terrible they were?
I don't think these were invented when I went to the football seminar.
Yeah. What do you got to say about that? Mine were though. I showed up with mine just in case. But, ladies and gentlemen, that's another episode of Sip and Brew with the Crew. If you enjoyed this banter, this shtick, you know we put out a weekly podcast called Power Athlete Radio, released every Friday. Head to powerathletehq.com/radio to learn more about that show. The world-class guests that you will never believe were on there. We're talking like some of the top thought leaders and researchers in strength and conditioning, biomechanics,
Authors,
top selling authors.
World famous directors.
That's right. We're all over the map. That's the type of talent we bring because we're top 50 podcast in fitness on iTunes in Denmark.
someone's at altitude mask.
Oh, dude. But yeah, I never bought into those. But
Same.
But I think that's came from Dr. Tom sending me all that research on living at like altitude and training low. So there was always this idea that you want to train high and live low, which was backwards. So what you do is you want to live at altitude, acclimate, and then go down to lower levels and then be able to train at a higher intensity. So I always remember thinking the altitude mask is wrong because people are just wearing it to train. They need to be living with it on.
Yeah, I'm gonna wear mine to the grocery store.
Yeah, that's what you got wearing it at Home Depot.
Dude, I had to go pick up some parts.
We have 20 seconds.
Oh, I went to go pick up some parts of the mower, and they won't let you in the store unless you had a mask on.
How about that, ladies and gentlemen?
Weird.
Enjoy your day. We'll see you tomorrow at 6 a.m. from the crew. Here's to you. Here's to you. Here's to you. Here's to you.